Checked away, and now it's the other end. This could be a 3-on-1. Abdelkader in, shot! He hit the crossbar! Rebounded to the near side.
Hit the crossbar, and you think that's your chance, and you know, that's it. You know, maybe you won't get a chance like that again. You know, you're just so disappointed when you miss that shot, and you know you're so close.
As Justin watched his would-be game winner carom off the crossbar, he thought about the school he'd grown up cheering for, the school that his grandfather and dad, who were sitting in the stands that day in 2007, attended. The school whose name he now wore on his sweater. The Abdelkaders bled green and white long before Justin started playing for the Spartans, and once he arrived on campus, his love for Michigan State was pushed to the next level.
A lot of emotions kind of ran through my head. You know, obviously nervous, excited about the opportunity to play at Michigan State. You know, always a childhood dream to wear the green and white and to play here. I just remember pulling into Wonders and seeing all the students unloading their cars and the parents there, and all the builders that are building lofts for all the kids. So it was a lot of good memories, exciting but also nervous and not knowing fully what to expect. You know, it did feel like it was going to be something bigger as far as, you know, playing for the ice hockey team and, you know, representing more than just myself or our team, but the whole university. Stepping on the ice for the first time and playing for the students, you know, the students that the same students that you go to class with that are, you know, they're supporting you and cheering you on is a really good feeling. And hearing the band play just kind of sends chills through you. Even talking about it gives you chills. Just, you know, walking on the ice and student section cheering and the band playing. You score a goal and, you know, not only the crowd goes crazy, but then the band plays, the band's circling the rink. It's a different feeling playing for a university. You know, it was always great memories living with the guys in the hockey house. We all got along really well, you know, whether it was watching TV at night or, you know, playing NHL or cooking dinner together. We all bonded, and I think that's part of being in college is the relationships you make and the bonds you have with your teammates and guys you go to work with each and every day.
After he missed the shot to win a national title for his teammates and all of Spartan Nation, Justin didn't have time to dwell on what could have been, because he found himself granted with a second chance to etch his name in Spartan history forever.
I was kind of starting to cover back for the defenseman, and he pinched down to keep the puck in, and I saw an opportunity to come in the slots.
Kennedy looking, center shot, score! They score!
After scoring that winning goal, I think there's just a lot of emotions that run through your head. I didn't really believe it happened, and we scored. I remember Jim McKenzie coming to the celebration to the pile and just asking me if I believed what I just did, and I'm like, I have no idea, like, it's crazy, whatever. And you know, I think it was just joy, excitement, just couldn't believe, you know, what happened at that stage. I mean, you're just playing so hard, and you try to envision winning a game. You never, I don't know, envision scoring a winning goal like that, but you know, to do that on that stage with that time left, it was just really exciting. I just remember them panning after watching a replay, seeing the bench after I scored, and just pure joy and excitement and disbelief, like it almost didn't happen. I'll never forget Ron Mason coming in and leading the fight song. President Simon was there. Awesome feeling. You know, all the guys together. We were out of our skates, still in our uniforms, but standing on the stalls, singing the fight song. You know, just memories I'll never forget the rest of my life. And you know, everyone, just the excitement and joy in everyone's faces. You know, obviously we did something, you know, bigger than just a national championship. Did it for the whole school and the student body, which you know, really felt good, and you know, was really exciting. You know, I played one more year of college after winning the national championship, and then we had lost in Colorado College in the regional finals. You know, so I sat down and kind of talked to my parents after reflecting after a couple days, and an opportunity to go right to Detroit, playing a couple preseason games possibly, and practice with the team, and then be a black ace throughout the playoffs. And obviously Detroit had already clinched first place overall. So they were starting to rest some guys, so I had the opportunity to play those last 2 games, and I just felt like I was ready for that next step, and did everything I could at the college level, and was ready for the next challenge. You know, I've been very fortunate. I think Detroit's, you know, the best organization to come into. They really treat their players well. Obviously, they want to mold you into a really good player, so sometimes they take more time maybe than other organizations, but you know, we've been a very good team for a long time too, so you know, you have to kind of earn your spot as you come up on the team. But you know, when I came in, and Lidstrom was the captain, and you know, the leadership group, they just had guys that kind of like we had at Michigan State, that would all just kind of pull on the same rope. No one cared, you know, if someone was scoring 40 goals or 30 goals or whatever it was. They just, you know, there was no egos. You check your ego at the door, and you walk in, and you know, everyone's fighting for the same things. After I left, obviously promised you know, my mom that I would finish my degree, and it wasn't easy. The first couple of years, though, I stayed on campus, which helped. I could take a lot of classes, summer classes, you know. But after those first couple of years, when I didn't come back in the summer, I would take online classes. Sometimes I would have to come back, you know, for exams in the summer. But you know, Angela Howard, Angela Monti now, was a huge help for me. She was my academic advisor when I was here, and you know, helped me to, you know, talk with the professors and find ways to take those classes. And also, you know, in the business college, you know, Dr. Wilson was also a big help, and finding ways for me to finish my degree, because obviously I can't be here in the fall and spring when I'm busy. So you know, I had to take a few independent studies, you know, a few business classes, but you know, finally found a way to finish.
While most NHL players focus solely on improving their skills on the ice during the off-season, Justin's promise to his mom pushed him to put in extra time and spend his off-season working toward his degree.
You know, obviously a lot of work that had been put in from the first day I was on campus, you know, going to the classes, the early classes, the late classes, the study hours, the tutoring you'd have to take, you know, I think just the feeling of a big accomplishment, a weight off your shoulders to finally finish that degree. Just really proud that I stuck with it, because it, you know, it can be hard. You know, obviously, you know, when you're playing that pro level, you think maybe you can put it on the back burner and finish later, but I felt like the longer I put it off, the harder it was to finish. So those people were big. Obviously, my parents were a big support in helping me finish.
Now in his 10th season with the Red Wings and wearing the Block A on his chest, Abdelkader has been living the dream for a Michigan-born hockey player.
It's been amazing. I've been really fortunate and blessed to have the opportunity to play, you know, not only in Michigan State, then get drafted in Detroit and play there. Obviously played some minor hockey in Grand Rapids, which was close to Muskegon. I just played the 1 year out of state, which was my senior year in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. But yeah, I've been really blessed and fortunate, and you know, just want to keep obviously working hard and doing what I can to be the best player I can.
I'm Ed Minney, junior goalie from Wingate, Pennsylvania.
Clues trying to put the game away in, shoots, and Minney.
Just another opportunity, stopped by Minney. Oh, what a save by Minney, oh my.
I first started playing hockey when my family moved to Ohio when I was about 8 years old. I started out as a forward and just played kind of in-house and never really played travel, but I always wanted to play goalie, and my parents got me a set of goalie pads when I was about, I want to say between 10 and 11 for Christmas one year. Then my family moved to Pennsylvania when I was about 11. It was our middle school team had an opening for a goalie. I always wanted to play, and my parents were finally like, yeah, you can play. So I went out there and started playing and absolutely just fell in love with it. So I stuck with it, and the next year I started playing travel hockey and got put on the Bantam B team for my first year of travel hockey as a goalie, and knew that I had some serious work to do. So I started working with my goalie coach, Terry DeNike, from back home. I played Bantam AA on a non-league team the next year, and then did pretty well and just kept building myself up. And then the next year I actually played for the DC Caps U16 AAA team, and then did that for a year, and then got invited to the top 40 select camp for the US NTDP in Ann Arbor Went to there and actually didn't even make the team out of camp. Struggled during camp, but got invited back to their Strelo goalie camp as like a secondary tryout and did really well and got offered.
And upon arrival to the U.S. National Team Development Program, Ed immediately began to make a name for himself. He led the under-17 team to first place in the 2012 Four Nations Tournament in Switzerland, while going 3-0. He also helped the under-18 team win the World Championships in Finland after posting 2 shutouts in that tournament.
It was really cool. I mean, it was like basically every time I blinked my eye, I was doing something new. I was on a new team. I was traveling somewhere new. I had so much support from so many people, and I think that that's kind of how I continued to grow, and I never was really satisfied. I always wanted to play college hockey. I always wanted to play pro hockey, and I think that no matter what, I was never really satisfied with how things were going. And then, so I just kept working, and I basically spent every minute of the summer, and there was no break from hockey. I quit all my other sports and just played hockey all the time. To go from that to going to the USNTDP and playing in 3 international tournaments a year and winning a majority of those was incredible. Just experiences I could never even imagine were going to happen 3-4 years ago. Like, I couldn't have dreamed that I'd be playing hockey in Switzerland for our country. It was amazing.
Ed committed to Michigan State in 2012, and despite all the success in the U.S. development program, he arrived in East Lansing to the harsh reality that he may have to wait his turn.
It was not easy at all. Coming out here, in the first couple months, I was like, okay, maybe I'll get my chance. And my freshman year, nothing ever came. I didn't play 1 regular season game. And that was extremely difficult, because coming out here every single day knowing that you're basically just here for practice is not an easy task, but I knew that my time would come eventually, and that it started now, and that I needed to work every day so when I get my shot that I don't lose it, because I knew whether it was going to be the next year or the year after, at some point that I was going to be relied on, and if I wasn't ready, then I was just going to get pushed right back to the side.
It's not easy to come in as a young man, a young freshman, and chip in and goal, and it takes time and patience, so it's good that Ed, he got to learn a lot a different way in his first couple of years, and he handled it appropriately.
Ed wasn't ready to come in here and play as a freshman, and I thought he took a good approach in learning how to work every day, learning how to work on his weaknesses every day, learning how to work on his demeanor and the mental aspects of the game. We felt that Hildy could be and serve as a good mentor for him.
To have a guy like Hildy, to be able to learn from him and watch him from the bench and just see his overall demeanor during every game, every practice was really cool, because when I came in here I was kind of a hothead and kind of always lost my cool when I was getting scored on and whatnot, and to watch him and see him not get rattled over anything, whether it was a big goal he gave up in a game or just getting scored on in practice, he just always had that same calm demeanor. He was always happy, and I think that was the biggest thing I've learned from him leading into this year.
Over the course of the last 2 years has improved it immensely, and I think that's serving him well now, understanding that as his game continues to rise, the expectation is you got to have a consistent performance level every week, every day, and you have to project positive energy even when things don't go so well, and especially when things don't go so well. So I think he's doing a good job in growing in that area.
After long seasons of hard work and development, Ed entered the most important summer of his career, poised to take over the starting job at Michigan State.
Coach said I needed to have a big summer, that nothing was going to be given to me this year, and that I was going to have to earn every minute I played this year. So I took that to heart, and I went home, and I had probably my best offseason in my career. I lost some weight, I got stronger, I got faster, and just overall, I just had the most confidence I'd ever had coming into the season.
I thought last off-season was really important for him, and he had a real good off-season. He really dialed in and worked on his physical strength and conditioning, and came into school in the best shape since he's been here. That's number one. I think the biggest area that he had to grow was in the mental approach to the game, his demeanor.
He prepared himself in the off-season, shed a lot of weight, really came in focused and ready to, seize the opportunity.
And this guy's been making a difference. The junior Ed Minney has allowed this team to get on a little run. We didn't hear much about Ed Minney with Jake Hildebrand around the last couple of years, but now he is the guy for Tom Anastas's Michigan State Spartans.
Showing up every single game that I get called upon, that I need to go out there and have that same demeanor and that same play that I know I can do, and to go out there and stop the shots that I know I can, but also make those couple game-changing saves out there. I think that's huge. Coach always talks about is winning those key moments, and I think that's one of the biggest things I learned from Hildy was there's always going to be those couple saves that you're going to have to make that can change the game.
I think that your demeanor in the net says a lot to both your teammates and your opponents, and I think he's really grown a lot in that area and will continue to grow. I think what's most important for him at this stage is to find a groove and develop a consistency where his performance is very predictable. We know what we're going to get every night. He knows how to approach preparing himself to play at a consistently high level every night. That's the next step that he needs to take, and I think he's working towards that.
I mean, a goalie needs to continually work on his leadership qualities. It's a natural position of leadership, being a goalie on a team. You know, puck handling and you know, different things you do in practice, but he's doing a lot of those things well, so it's just kind of a continuous you know, working on improving those different facets of his game, but he's on the right track for sure.
Every day it's still I got to get better, and now it's just a matter of earning my teammates' confidence and trust and having those guys know that I always got their back out there.
The Motor City, Hockey Town. Detroit has played a critical role throughout the history of Michigan State hockey. Ever since the Spartans' first contest in the Joe Louis Arena in December of 1979, through all of the GLI games, CCHA playoffs, Big Ten postseason play, and the rivalry with Michigan, Detroit and the Joe Louis Arena have been pivotal to not only Spartan hockey, but the overall development and growth of hockey at the collegiate level.
Michigan State on the power play. Mike York, the left side. Oh, good score by Chris Bogus. Willie across the line, 2-on-1. Willie with a pass. It's shot by Miller. Stopped by Hogan. He takes it around behind, out in front. Kevin Miller with a straight score. Michigan State wins it.
It's a real important part of Michigan State hockey to be integrated with both the Ilitches, the Red Wing organization, and the city of Detroit. Obviously, we have a huge alumni base down there, and we've got a terrific tradition and history of playing down there. And you talk about creating unique experiences and valuable experiences for the student athlete, and that's what it's all about. For the athletes today, it's a big deal when you play in an NHL venue.
It's an unbelievable feeling. You know, you can watch it on TV, you can, you know, watch it in the stands there, but once you skate onto that ice, there's nothing like it. You feel like you're almost like one of the Red Wings when you were a kid skating out there for one of the biggest games of your life, it always seems like. My favorite memory at the Joe was last year when we beat Michigan in the Duel in the D trophy. You know, that was an awesome game. We went to overtime and it was a packed crowd. It was just an awesome experience.
Good move by Haig. He had room to shoot, passes off, scores! Spartans win!
Every time you get to play in an arena like that, it's pretty cool. I've been fortunate enough to have some really cool memories there. We won a couple GLIs when I was playing here. We won the first Mason Cup, which was my favorite memory there. We had a great team. It was a great group of guys, and it's always fun winning and hoisting the trophy at the Joe.
Well, I think being from Michigan, it was always, you know, I grew up being a Red Wing fan. It was always a big thrill to go down there and play, you know, where the Red Wings played and playing in front of that many people. It was a really neat experience, and especially being, you know, the games against Michigan were always special to go down there and play. You know, the crowd was really into it. The GLI was always fun, and then probably the best memory I had down there was when we did the CCHA playoff. It was actually my last college game at the Joe. You know, we won in double overtime and we won the playoff.
The Michigan State Spartans are CCHA playoff champs.
The Joe was the coolest place to play. It just had a different feel to it. Like you said, being a pro rink, it was special. And I actually have a lot of memories from there. We won 2 CCHA playoff championships there, which are team-wise are really important, big memories. Fan-wise, you know, it was the first Michigan State game ever played there as a regular season game. Ended up being a massive brawl that I was involved in that a lot of people remember.
If you want to play on the big stage, you know, after your college days, this is certainly a good test to see how you do in that type of environment. Big crowd, great stadium, great city, and you know, a lot of history down there.
Now, after decades of classic moments at the Joe, the Spartans will begin a new tradition in Detroit. Starting in 2017, the Spartans will get to play in the greatest hockey arena in the world, the state-of-the-art, brand new Little Caesars Arena.
It's certainly going to be a really cool experience. You know, it's going to be new for a lot of guys because all we've known growing up was the Joe. And, you know, next year it's going to be different. The GLI, we're going to the Little Caesars Arena, and I'm excited to see how cool it looks.
Now transitioning next year into the new Little Caesars Arena, the arena will be world class and it will be spectacular. You know, all the renaissance that's going on in revitalizing the city and all the energy down there. It's fun to be at least a small part of that rebirth and energy. And so we're all looking forward to the new arena. It'll have all the fancy bells and whistles and new amenities. In the end, it creates a great atmosphere downtown, where I know for a school like ours, where we have so many kids who come from the state and so many kids who come from the Metro Detroit area, that's a circle date every year on the calendar when you're going to play in the city.